BTS Global News Exclusive. Seoul, October 2025. The sky above Seoul that evening looked like a silver mirror cracked gently by the city lights. Beneath it, the Korean entertainment world trembled once again because of one name that never fades: Park Jimin. Since the beginning of October, waves of speculation have flowed like an unstoppable current. The world now sees Jimin not just as BTS's singer or dancer, but as a figure who stands at the forefront, shining with his own light, perhaps even, as some observers say, brighter than the legendary duo long associated with him, Jikook. That night, when Jimin appeared at the Asia Music Festival 2025, the entire arena seemed to stop breathing. From behind the heavy black curtain, his soft voice echoed in a low tone, almost like an enchanting whisper. "Tonight, I'll tell you my truth," he said quietly. That single sentence was enough to make #Jimin Solo Sparkle reach the #1 spot on global trending charts within 6 minutes. Yet it wasn't just his stunning performance that captivated people, but a different aura, something that made many wonder. Was this the sign that Jimin was now writing a new chapter in his career, and that his light had finally separated from the shadow of Jikook? After that concert, cameras and microphones flooded every corner. Reporters from Japan, America, and France all wrote the same line: "Jimin is no longer sharing the stage, he owns it." And from there, a small storm began to form in the ARMY world. For years, Jikook, the combination of Jimin and Jungkook's names, had been a symbol of unity, emotional strength, and synergy that made BTS irreplaceable. But now, with Jimin's solo steps growing firmer and his stage presence becoming untouchable, fans began to whisper about something that had always been taboo to say out loud. Was Jimin truly walking alone now? A few days later, Jungkook appeared on Weverse Live. His hair was still damp, wearing a simple black t-shirt, his gaze deeper than usual. He didn't say much, but one moment made the fandom freeze again. When someone commented, "Do you miss Jimin on stage?" Jungkook paused for almost 10 seconds. A small smile appeared, but his eyes told another story. "He's doing great," he finally said. "I'm proud." That was all. Yet for those who had followed the journey of these two since the beginning, those words felt like shards of ice slowly melting in their chests. There was pride, but also distance. A distance colder than ever before. Music critics claimed that Jimin's latest solo project was the most mature work of his career. His album, Solace, had just topped the charts in over 40 countries. The title track, Mirror Me, was entirely written by Jimin himself, with lyrics said to reflect his inner battles after years of living under the weight of expectations. One line shook listeners to the core: "I used to dance beside the light, now I am the light." Many interpreted it as a message that Jimin had finally found his identity outside of BTS and outside of Jungkook. But, as always in the world of K-pop, no rise comes without whispers of controversy. Ever since the Solace teaser dropped, rumors of a cold distance between Jimin and Jungkook spread rapidly. Old videos of their playful moments were re-examined with new interpretations. Silent pauses, small gaps between their seats in interviews, fleeting glances backstage. Everything was analyzed down to the second. The hashtag Where is Jikook trended on X, fueling endless speculation. Some believe Jimin was finally breaking free from the Jikook association, while others insisted this was just part of their natural artistic growth in different directions. Then, something unexpected happened. 3 days after Solace's release, Jungkook was spotted at Incheon Airport heading to New York, wearing a gray hoodie and sunglasses. No HYB staff accompanied him, just a single bodyguard walking discreetly. Fans who saw him described his expression as hurried yet restless. Less than 24 hours later, Jimin was also seen at the airport, flying to the same city. The world erupted. Are they meeting in New York? Became the question dominating global social media. Yet neither of them confirmed their purpose. Some media outlets reported that they stayed in different hotels, just 2 blocks apart. Meanwhile, in Manhattan, giant billboards alternated between ads for Jimin's Solace and Jungkook's Golden Tour live film, as if the New York skyline itself had become a silent stage for 2 lights that once shone together but now glowed separately. But on the third night, fans in Central Park claimed to have seen 2 hooded figures resembling Jimin and Jungkook walking side by side along the lake. A blurry video, though unverifiable, showed them speaking softly before parting ways. There was no solid proof, yet it reignited hope that behind the distance and rumors, their bond hadn't completely dimmed. Days later, Jimin appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. With a calm smile, he discussed his new album until Fallon suddenly asked, "Jungkook also has a project coming up. Have you two talked about collaborating again?" Jimin's smile faltered slightly before he replied, "We always talk, but sometimes silence says more than words." That single line spread like a mysterious mantra through the fandom. What did he mean by silence? Was it distance, or a kind of wordless understanding between two souls who had walked side by side for too long? Soon after, an insider from HYB, who preferred to remain anonymous, revealed that a secret plan for a duet project between Jimin and Jungkook had indeed existed, but talks had stalled due to creative differences. Jimin reportedly leaned toward introspective ballads and experimental sounds, while Jungkook wanted to maintain his global pop and performance-driven style. They're still close, but professionalism can sometimes create emotional distance, said the source. They're both trying to find the best way to shine, and sometimes, light that burns too bright can cast a bigger shadow. Even as rumors swirled, Jimin's influence continued to soar. He became the new global face of Dior Echo 2025, appearing in black and white photos that showed him standing by the sea under the words, "Be the light you hide." The campaign perfectly encapsulated his message, that being oneself sometimes means walking alone. In an interview with Vogue Korea, Jimin finally spoke more openly. "I never intended to leave anyone behind," he said softly. "I just wanted to know who I am when all the lights go out." The interviewer fell silent, but the world knew that this silence was the truest form of honesty. Meanwhile, Jungkook, busy promoting his upcoming concert film, appeared quieter than usual. At the Golden Live premiere, he simply said, "Everyone shines differently, and I think Jimin shines beautifully." Once again, his words trended, not because of what he said, but because of how he said it. His tone was gentle, his eyes trembling slightly. Fans could sense that affection and respect still lingered between them. Wrapped in layers of time and ambition, as October drew to a close, new rumors suggested that Jimin and Jungkook might appear on the same stage at an upcoming year-end award show in Seoul. Fans waited breathlessly, unsure whether this would mark a symbolic reunion or just a professional coincidence. But for many armies, the form didn't matter. What mattered was that both lights still shone under the same sky. Now, as Jimin stands alone at the height of his solo success, the world sees something more than just a sparkle. He represents the long struggle to find voice, meaning, and identity. Yet behind all that brilliance, Jungkook's shadow still lingers, not as a rival, but as part of the history that made that light deeper and more real. Perhaps Jimin is indeed shining alone now, but in every step he takes, there remains a trace of the past he can never fully leave behind. And maybe that's the most beautiful paradox of all, that in a world obsessed with deciding who shines brighter, there are two souls learning that true light isn't about outshining another, but about surviving even when the lights go out.